Corretta Scott King was quoted saying, "The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members." Sometimes when we think about community, I think we focus a lot on the intermediate community surrounding us, like our actual physical neighbors, those in the town that we live in. And while yes, we should absolutely 1000% be active participants in our community and give back and all of that, we should also think about our community in a larger, more broad sense. Our online communities, cultural communities, ancestral communities, the community of people we share a nationality with, those types of communities. Well, my guest today is an incredible Haitian American who has taken this idea of impacting her community to the next level by starting a nonprofit. Welcome to Business with Purpose. I'm your host, Molly Stillman of Still Being Molly, and this show is all about bringing you the stories behind the brands, companies, and small businesses that are changing the world. Each week, I interview an entrepreneur, CEO, nonprofit director, community leader, or just an incredible person who's trying to make a positive impact, not only through their personal life, but also with their career. My goal is to show you that no matter what you do for a living, you can make an impact right where you are. My guest this week is Vanessa Fleury, founder and director of Carl's Village. Carl's Village is a nonprofit agency providing mentoring programs for primary and secondary school children in the region of Grand Guave, Haiti. Their goal is to establish a community that will create sustainable pathways to academic success and self-empowerment for young people in Haiti. This was a really powerful conversation, and I was so grateful for Vanessa being really open and willing to talk about a lot of the things that have inspired her to start this nonprofit, in addition to the work that she's doing in Haiti. So without further ado, on to my conversation with Vanessa. Well, Vanessa, I'm so excited to have you here and hear all about your story and the story of Carl's Village. So would you mind just giving us the Vanessa 101? So tell us who you are and how you got to doing what you're doing with Carl's Village.
Absolutely. So my name is Vanessa Fleury, and I am Haitian American woman. I was born in New York, and my parents, being Caribbean after a certain while because of the weather, moved to Miami. So I've kind of been back and forth between Miami, New York, and Haiti my whole 31 years of life. So I have a connection to all three places. Originally, after college, I wanted to go to law school, and felt through my 4 years that it didn't feel like the right fit for me.
Yeah.
So I tried the AmeriCorps program to kind of give me some work experiences to see, and I knew nothing about nonprofit, and it just kind of felt right. I started working in 2011 in nonprofits to help Haitian immigrants after the earthquake get a legal status to be able to work and provide in Miami. And that's where my nonprofit career started. I went on to get my master's in nonprofit management so that I can better understand the logistics of development. And now I'm running my own nonprofit, which everything kind of snowballed pretty quickly. Carl's Village is named after my grandfather who passed away in 2015. So I wanted to do something to keep his legacy alive and the area that my grandparents are from. So I started Carl's Village as his legacy building, helping people in the community, each one leveraging my privilege in the community, seeing what it is I can assist with. And that's how Carl's Village came about, to be an after-school program for kids in the community that were falling behind in school.
Yeah. So I'd dive a little bit deeper into what Carl's Village does. So it is in the region of Grand Guave, Haiti. And for those that have maybe never been to Haiti, where is that in the country?
Yes, it's actually a very small town 2 hours south of the capital of Port-au-Prince. There is the funny thing is that the neighboring town is called Petit Guave, which means little Guave, and Gunguave is would be big Guave, but Gunguave is the smaller town. Don't know how that worked out, but it's kind of like people pass it all the time, and it's usually forgotten. It's just a community where everyone knows everyone. My grandmother is born and raised there, so my family has always been in that area. I've spent many summers in that area, so I've always been pretty familiar. But after my grandfather's funeral, I just met a few people from the community. The priest that celebrated the funeral just was telling me about the kids, and education in Haiti is all privatized. Mm-hmm. So with very low wages or no wages, oftentimes parents do not send their kids to school. So the school has done a pretty good job at finding sponsorships throughout the States or from missionaries in Canada. However, they were finding it really hard for the kids to perform. So it's kind of like you pay tuition, they go to school, but there is something that they're lacking or they fail the grade, and now they have to retake the class. And it's kind of counterproductive because they're not improving in their grades. And then what I found was that a lot of their parents are not able to help with homework. They're not able to read and write, a privilege that we often don't think about. Mm-hmm. I've always had my parents or a tutor or someone help me. And I've talked to community teachers in the community, and they've often tried to offer tutoring after school, but the parents cannot afford it. Yeah. And really, the dropout rate in Haiti, it's around the 6th grade. Parents might feel, okay, you've gotten enough schooling. Now you're not doing that well. Now it's time to help with securing, paying for the household. Yeah. So I'm just trying to leverage that. It's not that they can't. A lot of times they just need, like a lot of us, the extra support with their schoolwork. And from the 3 years, this is my 3rd year doing Carl's Village, all of my kids, all 50 of them that were given to me by the school, were in danger of failing, and everyone is a letter grade up.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So where did you, I know you said that you named it after your grandfather who had passed. Where did you really get the idea to start this nonprofit? And, was it a kind of like chicken and an egg sort of scenario? Like, had you already been there and you'd seen that this was a problem, or did somebody in the community say like, hey, this is a problem, we need a solution? What was sort of the I guess catalyst that led you to open or start Carl's Village?
So my grandfather was an accountant in Haiti, an entrepreneur. He had a bed and breakfast in the area, which I've met a lot of Canadian missionaries that's come to help with kids in Haiti. It was actually, and him seeing my work in nonprofit, him and I had always talked about we should try to see how we can assist in Gunguave. And then he passed away, and I kind of got very scared about doing it on my own. But I just remember him telling me about specific missionaries from Canada. And when I went to Haiti for the funeral, I met them. I was like, I'm not quite sure what you and we should be talking about, but I just know my grandfather said that I should meet you all. And they were telling me how they had 100 kids that they have been sponsoring throughout several years, and they are great kids. Their tuition, in the grand scheme, is about $250 American for the year. Mm-hmm. And but the kids were failing, and I was just like, well, why? Like, what is happening? And they're like, well, the parents at home can't read or write. And they were getting discouraged at paying tuition because they kept having to do it. And there are some schools, if you fail once, they'll kick you out. So it's very hard to to find another school that will take the students. So I was just trying to get to the root of the issue. And then I was like, okay, now I found my plug. I found something where I'm needed and I'm not repeating what is already being done in the community. Yes, I can pay for more students to go to school, but if the ones that are already in school are not performing and there's no system in place to help them, I'm more useful in that realm.
That's such a great point that I wish more people would hear. And I think I want to reiterate that. And that's that you weren't creating anything that didn't already exist.
Right.
Because so often, because I also work with a lot of nonprofits here, and so often I see nonprofits basically trying to reinvent the wheel. And so, and I'm just like, well, why don't we partner as a nonprofit? Like, here's what we specialize in, but why don't we partner with another nonprofit in this particular area that we need help in, that they're already doing well, and we can elevate each other and be more effective that way.
Exactly. And a lot of times people are like, well, how are you doing this? I always look for who is already doing the work. Another reason why low performance in schooling in Haiti, 1 in 5 children are malnutritioned. So going to school very hungry is a big factor as to why they are not learning. Yeah. So I provide meals, and I've met a women's group that they started a nonprofit to teach kids how to eat healthy within their culture, food and their culture. So I partnered with them, and we started a community garden in Gunguav. So not only are we going to provide them meals when they come after school and they're able to learn better and retain better, what they recall from they learn how to garden, they learn the importance of agriculture, and they take food home for their family. So we're not just feeding those kids, we're feeding hundreds.
Wow.
Just from a small garden. And a lot of times I am very big on thinking big, but the very little that my garden has is doing a lot. And if I can partner with someone else that's already doing the work, even if I'm not an expert in gardening, they are, then leverage our strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I have a couple other questions I want to ask you, but it's sort of top of mind just because of what's going on in Haiti right now with a lot of the kind of unrest and a lot of the issues that are happening. I mean, I don't know if this is something you feel comfortable kind of sharing, like what your experience has been, especially like running a nonprofit that's in Haiti. What are some of the things that you are seeing?
With the Gunguav is actually, since we're 2 hours south, we're not in the capital, so we do not get the brunt of protest, and most of that happens in the capital. Where it becomes an issue for us is that things that it's a very small town, supplies that we would need to get from the capital becomes a little bit more difficult. We have to stay home a lot. Anything that happens usually trickles down eventually to Gunguav, but we're a little bit removed from it. Yeah. But I don't shy away from I do take groups to Haiti with me. Yeah. But I don't shy away from what the situation is, but I do let people know that this is not unfamiliar to any country. There's unrest everywhere. Yeah. It's just a little bit, it's a little bit magnified because Haiti is such a small country. It's a little bit more concentrated in areas. Yeah.
I guess I should have asked first, like for anybody that might not know what's going on, can you kind of just briefly explain what is going on in Haiti right now?
So right now there's a lot of back and forth as far as protests against government corruption. There has been a very large amount of money that Venezuela has given to the Haitian government to provide infrastructure to Haiti, mostly in the capital. And the people are asking for some accountability of how those funds were distributed, mostly because the cost of gas has been going up, which causes the cost of food to go up. So with very low employment and cost of living going up, people get very angry, rightfully very agitated, without any response from the government. Yeah. So I tried to, last year around this time, in 2018 around this time, the Haitian gourd was 62 gourds would get you $1 American. Right now, it's about 81 to 82 gourds for $1 American. So their currency is going down and the cost of living is going up, and there is no one that can, in the government, that can explain why or how they plan to fix the problem. There was some protest in November when the gas prices first started to go up, and successfully so. After the protest, the government did not raise the gas prices. So, but now it's like starting to become a conversation again about raising prices or not, people not finding gas, and so those are really the reasons. And rightfully so, they have a right to, when you're hungry, and no one is being held accountable, and you're not getting the things that your tax dollars are paying for. Rightfully so, someone should. The problem that keeps happening is that no one in the government is responding. It took, I think, recently there was like a 10-day protest, and it was like not until day 8 that the president put out a statement.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the communication problem is mostly what the biggest issue is right now.
Okay, I'm breaking really quick from this amazing conversation with Vanessa to take a moment to thank our sponsor of the show, and that is The Root Collective. Now, The Root Collective is no stranger to the show, as Bethany Tran, who's the founder and owner, is one of my nearest and dearest friends. I've been a huge fan and supporter of The Root Collective for years, and you can pretty much always catch me wearing their incredible shoes. In fact, right now I'm wearing my incredible Molly sandals. Yes, they are named after me, and they are the perfect summer sandal. Also, I love them because they are the most complimented shoes that I own. And also, those compliments lead to a story about how my shoes are ethically made, empowering communities, and investing in change through job creation. Visit stillbeingmolly.com/TRC and use the code PURPOSE20 for 20% off your order. Back to my chat with Vanessa. You said that because Grand Guave is so kind of far away from the capital that you don't experience as much of the brunt of the frustration as the capital.
No, only the capital was pretty much on lockdown for about 10 days.
Yeah.
There were towards there were about maybe 4 or 5 days that the kids missed school, mostly for precaution reasons, and it started to trickle down and into the South, the protests, but it wasn't at the level or magnitude that it was in the capital. Mostly people stayed home just to be precautious.
Yeah. So what is it like to, and also I want to ask this, when did your parents emigrate to the United States from Haiti?
My mother actually immigrated pretty early. She immigrated when she was in high school. Mm-hmm. In the 70s, she went to high school in Boston, but it wasn't a smooth transition for her. She was in the English as a second language program, so she never really felt like she fully got what a high school experience would have been. Yeah. And then she moved, when she went to nursing school, and she moved to New York City, that's where I was born and my siblings. And, it's still, I always tell my mom's been here since the 70s, but you would think she came from Haiti yesterday sometimes. That's just how it is.
I love it. And where in New York City did you grow up?
In Queens.
Awesome. I love New York. Oh, I love New York so much. It's just one of those places that's like, it's just magical. Like the smells in the air.
Hey.
It is magical. So tell me your experience about working internationally while being stateside. So I know I do a lot of international work while also being here, but I don't run a nonprofit. So talk a little bit about that.
My biggest advocate for that is technology. I am so thankful for technology. I don't think 10 years ago this would be as smooth because Wi-Fi wasn't as strong. I'm very lucky that our bed and breakfast, we have Wi-Fi capability. So I can video chat. We talk every day via WhatsApp, send voice notes. I'm writing more grants for more computers so that the kids can use, but the teachers and the tutors have access to iPads so that we are in constant communication. Technology is my biggest advocate, and I try to use it as much as possible. And my plan is to show the kids. They're not very, if any, have access to internet.
Yeah. And are you fluent in Haitian Creole?
I am. So when my mom went to nursing school, she was also going through a divorce. So it was me and my brother, and she needed some assistance. So she sent us to Haiti to live with my grandparents.
Oh, wow.
Which described my closeness with my grandfather. So I did my elementary school years in Haiti. So I have the advantage of knowing how the school system works.
Yeah.
So I'm not very unfamiliar. Honestly, it's a little bit of luck. The people that I work with, I've known all my life. The tutors that are part of Carl's Village, I've known for a very long time.
Yeah.
So
at what point did you realize in your education, because I know you said that you got your master's in nonprofit management, but like at what point kind of in your education life did you realize working with nonprofits and specifically doing something in Haiti, a country that obviously you are very personally connected to, at what point did that kind of come to you as something you knew that you were called to do?
So I honestly, being Caribbean, from Caribbean immigrant parents, you have like 4 career choices that they think are careers. So you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're an engineer, maybe an accountant, and then everything else is like kind of like, what do you do? So my parents were like just really big advocates about me being a lawyer, and I always thought that I wanted to do that. High school, I was on a mock trial team, the debate team, all of that. And then when I went to college, I just did not feel connected. I felt like I was just going to have a job. I would have had a great job. It would have been easy to to structure my career path, but it just did not feel like Vanessa. And I joined a public service sorority and started to doing service work. And I just felt, it just felt like me. I just felt like I'm a giver.
Yeah.
How do I give and dedicate myself to giving? I never knew that nonprofit, I can make a career of it. It wasn't until I became an AmeriCorps member I realized, and oftentimes people don't realize nonprofit is a business.
Yeah.
Anything you want done right, you want people to run it efficiently, and any nonprofit that you want to run right, you need to run it efficiently like a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as somebody who has, you have a master's in nonprofit management and you are running a nonprofit yourself, what is some advice that you wish you had gotten when you first started? I know that there are so many times that like people who want to start a podcast or they want to start a blog, and they'll always ask me like, what advice do you have? Or can I pick your brain? And I just think about all the things that I wish I'd known. What would you say to somebody who's considering maybe starting a nonprofit, running a nonprofit, getting into that space?
So that this is also, I get a lot of pick my brain questions.
Yeah, all the time.
A lot of times a lot of times people come to like, you're doing this so well. And I'm like, am I really? Thank you. So I've ventured into consulting for people who are starting out and nonprofit and have never been in this realm or need direction. But things that I wish that you cannot do it alone. It's about finding the right team. And finding the right team also consists of knowing what your strengths and weaknesses are. I know my strength and weaknesses is not numbers. I am a doer. I like to program. Operations is my strength. So I find the right accounting people. I found the right people who do numbers. We all know someone who knows someone. But if we don't know what our strengths and weaknesses are, we can't build the right team. Mm-hmm. That is my major gift for people who are starting out.
I love that. That's great advice. Now, what is on the horizon for Carl's Village? What's your vision for the next, even just year, 2 years, 5 years?
Carl's Village is a safe space for kids. When they come, I want them to feel like they can be their most authentic selves. Oftentimes, kids in Haiti don't get the chance to just be kids.
Yeah.
So I want to be their safe space, to be who they want to be, to carve out their own future on their own. I think that's what's very unique about me doing a nonprofit organization in Haiti. I am not here to tell them what they should do or how they should do it. I'm here to provide them with resources that they need to become what they see for their future. I want to inspire them to know that where they are already great. They just have to unlock their full potential. 5-10 years from now, I call up all of them my kids. I foresee my kids being role models to the younger kids that come. I just foresee us being really a family. I oftentimes like, well, you're gonna grow so much, you're gonna have so many other kids, and like my kids will already be the leaders, and it provides sustainability to the area. Oftentimes people don't, like I said, it's a very small town, so people often bypass Gonguav, but I just see so much in these kids that I know that they'll be the ones to make a name of the town.
That's incredible. I love that, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Well, this is the portion of the show where we transition just a little bit to ask some fun, get to know you questions. And as my listeners know, this is also the portion of the show where my executive producer husband inserts some type of sound effect or movie clip or something to transition us to the get to know you round. So, Vanessa, are you ready for some fun questions?
I am ready.
Awesome.
You want to do something really meaningful, go to a protest that has nothing to do with you personally. I did that for the first time. I went to a Muslim band protest, man. This is what they don't tell you. You can just leave whenever you want. I never knew that was an option because I only go to black I'm from Birmingham. All we do is go to black protests. And when you at a black protest, you there. There's no leaving. You think black church long, go to a black protest. Ain't no sneaking off. I just left the Muslim man. They waved, see you later. I tried to tiptoe away from a black protest. I got 2 steps away from the group. They said, where you going, brother? The struggle is this way. My bad, fam. That's on me. I thought we was gonna make that left. We're making the left. Okay, the struggle's, okay, let's go this way. Okay.
The first question, I've never asked this one before. I thought this would be a fun new one, is do you have any funny or strange superstitions?
Oh my gosh, I'm Haitian. I have tons.
It's funny because I planned that question before I knew that you were actually Haitian. Like I knew that you worked in Haiti, but I did not know that you yourself were Haitian.
Yeah, like how much time do you have? But my biggest one is for New Year's Eve, my home has to be clean from top to bottom. Like you cannot go into the house without having deep clean. And also on January 1st, you have to drink pumpkin squash soup.
Interesting. What's the
Year.
What's the kind of the reason behind those two things?
January 1st is also Haitian Independence Day. And that is just the most traditional Haitian soup that there is. So every Haitian household is drinking pumpkin squash soup.
I love that. That's so fun. That's really unique and not something that I would have guessed at all. So my house also has to be clean on December 31st, but not because I'm Haitian. So
yeah. Well, maybe you are by association.
Maybe I am. Maybe like I should do that 23andMe. Maybe I have like a 1% Haitian or something. Okay. All right. Question number 2. If you got stuck in an elevator and you were forced to listen to only one song, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good one. It would be Whitney Houston. I Want to Run to You.
Oh, that's a good one.
Her voice is just so soothing.
It really is.
If I'm stuck in an elevator, I would need someone to calm me down.
I want to run to you. I like to sometimes pretend that I can sing like Whitney Houston, but obviously I cannot. Okay. What is the weirdest tradition that your family has?
Weirdest tradition.
Do you guys have something that you do as a family, or you kind of always did as a family, or you remember doing a lot as a family together growing up?
Traditions. We've actually we have every 2 years we have like a big barbecue type thing, and it's always in Boston. My grandma's sisters, when they immigrated to the States, Boston was where it's so that house is the most constant thing in my family. It's my mom grew up there, everyone grew up there, so when any reunion that we have is tradition to go back to that house.
Yeah. Is there like a particular dish that somebody always makes? It's always there.
Yes. And my grandma's sister, she makes, it's called marinade. It's kind of a flour dough that is fried and it has pieces of chicken inside.
Ooh.
It's so delicious, but that is her thing. Any family big event, she will be frying marinade. And this year we're going to do, because my grandma's sister's turning 85. So we are going to be having another barbecue in the same home.
I love it. You got some longevity in your family.
Yes.
Okay. What is something that you've never been able to do, but you've always wanted to do?
I have always wanted to kind of anything gymnastics, like a flip. I cannot like tuck and roll or any of that. I've always wanted to get into gymnastics.
I love it. It's never too late. You can totally do it.
Yes, I hope not. I've tried. I'm a only girl. I only have brothers. So when we were younger, my mom always everyone has to agree on one activity, and I was always outvoted on the gymnastics. So we did karate instead.
I love it. I can't do a cartwheel, so never been able to. My 5-year-old can do an amazing cartwheel, and she's like, "Mommy, can you do it?" And I'm like, "No, I actually cannot."
At 5, we're fearless, though.
I know. It's true. Yeah. She will just go run, do a round off, no fear. I'm like, you're going to break your neck. I don't even know. Okay. And then my last question for you is, what are you most grateful for today?
I'm grateful for family and friends, as cliche as it sounds. They are my biggest cheerleaders. And in times where I always feel, even Carl's Village is growing and I see the impact, but I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And they are constantly cheering me on. So I'm most grateful for that.
Awesome. That's incredible. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Vanessa. And thank you for sharing the story of Carl's Village and just everything that you're doing there. I cannot wait to see you continue to succeed and impact the lives of so many kids in Haiti.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed talking to you and sharing my story.
I would love to know what you loved about this particular episode or something that you learned. Let me know on social media. You can find me at Still Being Molly or at Business with Purpose Podcast on Instagram or Facebook. And don't forget to use that hashtag Business with Purpose Podcast. Another huge thank you to our sponsor, The Root Collective. Visit stillbeingmolly.com/TRC and use that coupon code PURPOSE20 for 20% off your order. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you're a first-time listener of the show, welcome. Be sure to visit the archives for past shows featuring amazing entrepreneurs and business owners who are quite literally changing the world with their businesses. And if you're a regular listener of the show, thank you so much for tuning in and week out. Thank you for your support. Now, don't forget to head on over to iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, or wherever you listen to podcasts and click that subscribe button. Clicking that button helps to make sure that you never miss a new episode of the pod. And while you're there, would you mind taking a moment to leave a review of the show? Leaving a review really just helps me to know what you're liking and how the show is personally impacting you. This show is edited by my amazing husband and executive producer, John Stillman, and the music is by Mark Killian of Third Wheel Media. Thank you so much for listening. Now go do something good with purpose, on purpose.